Guys, welcome back to another video. This is Math Stats, and we are back with another video for you guys. And today we're going to be looking at something called properties of quadratic function. Before we even get into it, take a moment and hit that subscribe button. And of course, you can let me know on the chat where you are watching this video from. Without any delay, let's get active. So, what we're going to learn in this one is something called the axis of symmetry and vertex. Now, I know this is that part of math that people start to hate math that much because they don't like graphs and they don't like vertices and axis of symmetry and things like that. But I will do my best to make it as easy as possible, and hopefully you guys can actually understand and like doing math. So, remember we were talking about this thing called the equation of a parabola. For instance, we had f of x equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. Well, we call this the equation of a parabola. This is called the equation of a parabola. So, what does that, how do you do that? When we talk about the parabola, basically in a graph, it looks like an oval, something like that. But as we go along, you're going to see what I'm talking about. Now, we have two things in the parabola that can help us with parabola. One is called the vertex. Now, vertex, what is the vertex? The vertex is basically the x and y coordinate of the function. So when we have f of x equals x squared, this can be also written as y equals x squared. So the vertex is basically the vertex basically is the coordinate of the parabola where either the smallest coordinate or the highest is. Okay, so we're gonna look at that in a sense. Basically, so is that one point, because remember that's actually a one point right here. The point is two coordinates, so the point is with the smallest y coordinate, right? So basically, when y is greater than 0, and this n is the point with the largest y coordinate when it's y less than 0. So for instance, if you have a graph like this, well, this is that point right here where y is right here. This is where y, which is the largest y coordinate, right? And if you have something like this, that right here will be the y with the lowest coordinate. But again, we're gonna be doing some exercise soon. But let's talk about the vertex. How do we find the vertex? Well, the vertex basically in that function right here, the vertex is found by this formula. The formula for the vertex is b over 2a, or negative b over 2a. That's for the x-axis, or the x coordinate, and for the y coordinate it will be f of negative b over 2a. And so this is how you find the vertex. So in a sense, you're looking at the function ax squared plus bx plus c, and you say, oh, okay, the coefficient of x, which is b, divided by 2 times the coefficient of a, or actually negative b, over the coefficient of x squared, which is a times 2. That will give you the x coordinate, and the y will be the f of x coordinate. Now, let's talk about axis of symmetry. So we have axis of symmetry. This basically is the x part, where x is equal to negative b over 2a. Basically, the axis of symmetry is that first part of the vertex. Now, is that all we need to know right now? Yes. Let's actually do one exercise, and we're gonna get into the next topic of that part of that properties of quadratic functions. Let's say we have this right here. We have no, not f of x. Let's say we have y equals to negative x squared minus 1. Well, what can we do now? Well, we're gonna rewrite this as I would say, in a better form. We're gonna write this as y equals to negative x squared plus 0x minus 1. Why do I put this that way? Because if I don't do that way, then you won't be able to see how the vertex can be found. But because I expanded it, because remember the formula is ax squared plus bx plus c, then now you can see there's a bx and there's an ax squared. So what would the vertex be now? The vertex would be negative b over 2a. What is negative b? Negative b is 0. So it will be 0 over 2 times a. What is a? A is negative 1. So it will be negative 2 times 1. Oh, my bad. Let me put it a better way. Come on. So that would be a 0 over negative 2 times 1. And what is b? Well, what is the other part of the vertex? What will it will be f of 0 over times 1, which is what? Basically it's 0. So f of 0 over negative 2 times 1. So basically that right here is the vertex. So what would that equal to? What I would be v equal to 0. And what is the next one? What's the next one? The next one is 0. No, is it 0? No. Let's see what it is. Let's say we plug in 0 into the function. Plug in 0 into the function, you have y equals to 0 minus 1. So y is equal to what? Negative 1. So that means the f of 0 will be equal to negative 1. And this right here is your vertex. Vertex will be equal to 0 and negative 1. Now, how do we actually find the axis of symmetry again? Well, the axis of symmetry is x equal to negative 2 over negative b over 2a. And we saw that. So basically, what is the axis of symmetry? Well, the axis of symmetry is equal to what? It's equal to 0, because that's this one right here. It's equal to 0. So therefore, these are the two things you're looking for in the vertex. Now, well, we have one more thing to do. We need to graph the function. How are we going to graph this? Well, boom, boom. We have x and y. X equals to negative 2. X equals to negative 1. 0, 1, 2. When x equals to negative 2, what do we get? Well, we get negative, remember the function is again, y equals to negative x squared minus 1. So when you get x equal to negative 2, that will be equal to the negative 2 squared minus 1, which is equal to negative 4 minus 1, which is equal to negative 5. So that will be negative 5. And x equals to negative 1, that will be equal to negative 2. X equal to 0 equals to negative 1. X equal to 1 equals to negative 2. And x equal to 2 equals to negative 5. Right? Yes. Because, of course, if it's negative 1, that will be negative 1 squared minus 1, which is positive 1 minus 1 is minus 1. Negative 2. 0, what do you know is going to be negative 1. 1 is going to be negative 1 squared minus 1. That's going to be negative 1 minus 1. And 2 will be 2 squared minus 1, which is negative 4 minus 1 equal to negative 5. So we already have that right here. So now we can just graph them. All right. So let's graph them. I'm going to remove that because just now, why is 0? 0 is right here for x. And y is -1, so that's right here. -1 for x is -2 for y. It's -1, -2. -2 for x is -5, so 3, 4, 5. That's right here. And 1, -1, and 2, -5. And we have something like this. Yeah. Just so you guys can get the picture. So you can see the vertex is right here at 0, -1, and the axis of symmetry is that one right here. So basically, you get to understand what it is that we are doing with the vertex and the axis of symmetry. That can help us a lot when it comes to graphing a parabola. Let's do a second example real quick, and we're gonna move on to our next video, which we'll be talking about the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Let's do a second exercise. Let's say we have okay. Let's say we have y equals to x squared plus 2x. So we need to find the vertex, remember, the vertex, and the axis of symmetry, right? Those two things we need to find. So how do we find the vertex? Vertex basically is v is equal to -b over 2a and f of -b over 2a. Remember that, right? So what is -b over 2? What is -b over 2a? Well, we have a right here and we have b, and a is equal to 1, right? Because the function, the coefficient of x squared is actually 1. So that means we would have v will be equal to -b, which is -2, over 2a. 2 times a is equal to 2. And we have f of -2 over 2. Well, what is -2 over 2? Well, v will be equal to -1. And what is f of -1? Well, f of -1 is going to be -1 squared plus 2 times -1, which is equal to what? That's equal to -1. Oh, no, my bad. Wrong. -1 quantity squared is equal to +1. 1 plus -2 is equal to 1 minus 2 is equal to -1. So that means f of -1 is equal to -1. And so here you got your vertex. What is the axis of symmetry? Well, we already know the axis of symmetry is -b over 2a, which is equal to what? -1. So we have these two things right here. Now let's graph. You graph this one. We have x and y. And let's say we have -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Okay, so -2 for x will be what? Will be -2 squared plus 2 times -2. So basically that's 4. And 2 times -2 is -4 minus 4. That's going to be equal to 0. -1 for x will be -1 squared plus 2 times -1, which is 1 minus 2, which is equal to -1. 0 would be 0 plus 0, which is 0. Okay. 1 is what? 1 is what? 1 is 1 plus 2. 1 is equal to 3. And 2 is 2. Square is 4 plus 2 times 2, which is equal to 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. This is going to be very interesting parabola. Wow. -2 is equal to, yeah, let me see if I made a mistake right here. So it's -2 quantity squared plus 2 times negative 2. Yeah, that's correct. So let's see. So we have negative 1, negative 2. Negative 2 is 0. Negative 1 is negative 1. So that's right here. 0 is 0. Okay. 0 is 0. And 1 is 3. So you have 1, 2, 3. 1 is 3. And 2 is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is that. So let me see if I do negative 3 as well. Negative 3 would be your negative 3 squared plus 2 times negative 3, which is 9 minus 6, which is equal to 3. Okay, so negative 3 is going to be 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. That makes more sense. This is that. So basically, this would go something like this. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So this is the graph. It looks kind of weird at first because I only did negative 2, but hey, it makes sense. The reason why it makes sense is because this basically shows you that the vertex, which is at negative 1, negative 1, it moved the graph 1 to the left. So instead of the graph looking like this, it basically moved it to the left. So the graph yes. So instead of the graph to look like this, come on. Okay, basically you got the point. The graph basically moved 1 to the left because it's negative 1, negative 1. Yeah, that makes sense why. So at first I thought it was kind of weird, the word looking for the graph, but it makes sense because the graph moved 1 to the left per the vertex. So guys, I know that was kind of confusing, but if you actually don't understand, I can make another video for it for you guys so you guys can understand better. But until right now, I'm gonna stop it right here. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And of course, you can comment below and tell me what exactly you're looking. And if you actually comment, let me know if you're a new subscriber so I can give you a quick shout out as well. Don't forget again, I have my other channels on the screen. Go and check them out. And of course, subscribe to them as well. And you can donate to the channel. Everything is in the description down below. This is Mastat, guys. Hope to see you guys again. Until then, Mastat out.